Do you like basketball? Basketball 농구? I like, but I'm not good at. Yes, I'm not.
Me too.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the State of the League podcast, the only NBA podcast talking about every present every week if you're subscribed to the Holly Jolly on. I'm your host, Jack, a.k.a. Jokic Joestar. With me, as always, the world-famous Saint Escobar, riding around in his ballmobile, giving presents to all the good boys and girls, or the smart boys and girls of the world, I guess. Like, you could be evil, but as long as you have good basketball takes, you'll get a present from us, for sure. How you doing today?
Luigi Mangione. Here's a new Game Boy.
Oh, damn. He's probably bored as shit. Did you see them walking him, like, across the...
Yeah.
I saw a funny tweet, because Mayor Eric Adams was behind him, right? And someone was just like, he thinks he's Commissioner Gordon. Eric Adams does.
Yeah. I've seen so many things. That it looked like Brockhampton, that it looked like Superman, that it looked like so much. Why did they need all those guys? And how much? I would like to see how much salary is walking behind him.
I mean,
got to be millions of dollars.
All of those guys' annual salaries combined, or the United Healthcare CEOs, which you think is more?
Oh, that's tough.
And we have to
probably.
We're counting Eric Adams like fraud and embezzlement and stuff.
His Turkish money.
Yeah, it's all going in.
It's probably still Brian.
Yeah, damn.
Brian was cooking, I'm sure.
He worked so hard. It's so sad.
Yeah. Guys, comment down below if you know who Robbie Williams is.
Absolutely. Comment down below. This is my favorite Robbie Williams song, and this is a real memory I have of hearing this song in real life. And
yeah, certainly he didn't just transport into our verse.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about.
Scotty Barnes. Who's international in the Patreon? We got Scotty Barnes. We got Scotty Barnes' friend.
Yeah.
We have the guy from Germany. Tell us, do you guys know Robbie? I never heard of this guy. Is it possible to be this big of a deal just in England? I
don't know. I guess England. Those
Irish
fucks.
people listen to English artists?
I can't imagine. That would be crazy. I don't like. There's probably some crossover. Like Irish people probably listen to the Beatles in the fucking 60s or whatever. But I've been listening to this. They're called Kneecap. Have you heard of them?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I didn't see the movie though.
I haven't seen. It's supposed to be good. I haven't seen it either. But some of their songs, they're good. They're good. They're very, they're angsty. They're edgy. They're oppressed. Oh, no. Yeah, try being a Nuggets fan after last night's Blazers game. I'll show you oppression. Oh, man.
They're calling it the worst defense on a game winner ever?
They're calling it the worst defense on a game winner ever. Of course, it comes 30 seconds after Giannis beats the Thunder by being like an overwhelmingly good defender, too. Like, that was a huge part of the win. It was just like, damn, Giannis was everywhere in this game. He was contesting everything. And Jokic is standing still on the game winner. Oh, man. Yeah, it's... The vibes are low.
He had to take away the lob to Ayton, right?
I mean, I fucking guess, but they could probably still throw that lob, and he still would have gotten it. Like,
no, because if you throw that up to Ayton, it's going down.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, whatever. All right, you want to get into the Thunder?
I suppose. Don't worry, there won't be any Anthony Simons quality slashers in the playoffs, right?
No, see, that's what I'm thinking. It's like especially if we add Levine, which we will also get to. Like, if we add Levine, it's like, what perimeter guys are we gonna run into in the postseason if we're looking to like make the conference finals or something? I don't know.
Hey, and Levine on ball?
Oh my! I mean, best of all. That's crazy.
He'd be okay.
He'd be okay. Is he really? I've been getting spun back on Twitter because I said Emmanuel Quickley was better than Zach LaVine like 12 months ago. I mean, a year ago at this point, I guess. And that's fair. I personally didn't expect Levine to rebound into like the best 3-point shooting season of his career at 29 years old. That's on me.
Because you're an idiot.
I'm an idiot. I'm stupid. I'm willing to accept it. But I have not locked. So, like, defensively, obviously the infrastructure in Chicago has not been good for a long time. Does he, like, stand out as just, like, unlivable on that end of the floor when you watch them? Or is it just like, it's not great, but, like, he's not the problem here?
Haven't been watching them. Deplatformed the Chicago Bulls, everybody.
That's my fault. Insensitive. I'm sorry.
But he's always been okay on ball, like just up and down regular, but really bad off the ball. But people have always overstated how bad off the ball. Like Zach Lowe would be like, Zach Lowe hated Zach LaVine so much.
There can be only one.
There was even there was even one time where he famously would call Zach LaVine empty calories. Like, he would not say his name without saying like empty calories LaVine. And then one time it was like Trump. And then one time he had him on his podcast, and
okay.
Yeah, they had like a nice conversation. And then I was like, is this the end of it? Is this going to be the end of him hating him? And then the very next episode, someone, I think it was Jay Williams, someone said something positive about LaVine, and he just immediately was like, is he good? I don't know. He's like, he wasn't moved at all by meeting him. So
hey, that's
if you ask Zach Lowe,
that's bars.
If you ask Zach Lowe, he's a cataclysmic team defender. Like, you cannot have a good defense if he's on your team. I don't think he's that bad, but
yeah, I will say, okay, enough of we'll get to all of that in a sec, so I'll just hold my
we'll
breath.
never get to the Bulls though, just so everyone knows.
No, just so hashtag deplatform. Get them out of here. The Thunder,
the Coke protest. I just saw that Costco's swapping out Pepsi products for Coke products. You guys know how much I would enjoy a Coke Zero at the Costco food court, but I'm not having any Coke right now.
You're too based.
I'm loading up on Pepsi Zero. So
I'm drinking. I'm drinking Starry right now. So I'm cooling.
Guys, I've always wanted the genocide to end, but now it's serious.
Now it's serious because my diet. It's hilarious that like Diet Coke is the most unchecked addiction in modern society, I feel like. Like, we talk about, like, gambling overtaking the lives of young men or whatever. All of those things, cigarettes, big tobacco, of like, weed addiction even, all of those things pale in comparison to just, like, everybody from ages, like, 18 to 45, I feel like knows somebody who's like, yeah, I drink way more Diet Coke than water. I drink like 6 Diet Cokes a day, and I drink a glass of water to counteract that.
And most of them are women, and most of the people filling and doing the online shopping, consuming, are women.
Mm-hmm.
So what about those dots? Let's
women hate
Diet Coke propping up the shopping industry. It's not actually diet. They've swapped out the calories for consumerism. Write an essay about that, Substack.
Yeah, exactly. The Thunder.
Should we start a Substack?
Yeah.
All right, Thunder.
No, we should. Yeah, no. Fuck the Thunder. We don't need. We're only 9 minutes in. We don't need to talk basketball. Let's do a Substack where we just get. Like, we're already fake woke on here. We're already doing all this, like, just bits that are 8 layers deep. On the Substack, it's going to get ridiculous, guys. When we can, like, edit and, like, redo our lines while we're writing out a paper, oh, my God. It's going to be completely fucking indecipherable. You'll never know our stances on anything.
Yes, and ellipses will be used.
Oh, yeah. Ellipses, ampersands, and semicolons. We're going to do it all. The Thunder.
What is ampersand?
It's the and symbol. So, like, it's usually used in like, business. Like, Barnes and Noble. Like, that's where you would use an ampersand. Is in, like, the name of something like that.
I went there yesterday. I didn't pick up anything.
I feel bad because one just opened up in Georgetown. It's really not. It's like 3 stories tall. It's in like an old factory building. It's it's super cool, but it's like right down the street from like a very local bookstore, and so it's like, damn, you guys are kind of in trouble. I can actively see Barnes and Noble's business model working as this business withers up and dies.
I'll be so sad about on the 3rd floor of the sick Barnes and Noble.
On the 3rd floor in my reading nook, being like, damn, bro, that's crazy. The Thunder beat so last 4 they've beaten the Magic.
But wait, no, I'm just kidding.
No. They've beaten the Magic, the Mavericks, the Rockets, and they lost to the Bucks. All I really wrote down for the Thunder is that we talked about them a bunch recently. Was like the NBA, all the NBA Cup teams. I don't think we need to spend too much time on the Magic game. It was closer than I thought it would be with no Franz and no Pablo. Yet another testament to the fact that they win games with their fucking defense. But Shea played really well in this game. I think he now holds the title for most games with 35 points this season under 5 free throws. That was the stat I was seeing thrown around a lot.
The merchant himself that has the most ethical big scoring games. Write that down, haters. But yeah, they lost the NBA Cup final. They beat Orlando. They are on a 6-game winning streak. You know that?
Outside of the final, oh, it's because okay. I do want to
fake,
yeah,
not canon. Everybody, it doesn't go on the books. So the Oklahoma City Thunder are officially on a 6-game winning streak. I hope they go on the longest winning streak ever, because it'll be easier for them now.
Yeah.
But against Orlando, Jalen Williams had 0 free throws, even though 9 of his 15 shots were right around the rim. Mark Dagnall popped off. He said, "Here's a stat." What are you about to say?
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say, I was, fuck, god damn it. Because I was going to let you keep going, but you went. It was a follow-up to the thing we spent 30 minutes on the Patreon last week, where we were like,
yeah.
Why don't they get free throws? One guy pointed out on Twitter that Jalen Williams is always really out of control, it feels like, when he's going to the basket, even though he is a good finisher.
The handle?
Yeah, and so that makes sense to me a little bit. But even in the clip that guy used, I was like, well, he did get hit there. Like that should be a foul call, just because it's not like the responsibility of him to like make it look nice before he gets fouled. But if you're just looking for like concrete reasons why things are happening, I guess that's one you could point to.
Yeah, I agreed with him that it was his handle that was the problem in the clip. He said his athleticism too. I don't know if I really see that as a barrier for Jalen Williams.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mark Dagnall said, "Here's a stat: Jalen Williams and I both shot the same amount of free throws tonight. We both shot 0, and all I did was call a couple timeouts, called some plays, clapped a couple times when we scored, and he was in the throat of the defense for 48 minutes."
Whoa.
He said we're encouraging him to be a downhill player to get his athleticism in the game, but at some point we're not asking for it to be rewarded. We're just asking for it to be met with an application of the rules the same way it would for any other player. And so OKC lost the free throw battle in this Magic game by 9 attempts, even though they both took about the same amount of threes. OKC took 4 less threes, I think, and OKC scored more points in the paint. It was 46 versus 42.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, something about them. It must be a size thing overall. That's like the only common denominator for an entire team whose like ethos is drive.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be a size issue.
Oh shit! Can you hear my dogs barking?
Yeah.
Those fucking assholes. Oh, don't worry. I'm already seated recording, but they won't be barking in the next episode, ladies and gentlemen. I can tell you that much. Yeah, the size issue though, goddamn. Oh, these fuckers. Whatever. The size thing, it kind of makes sense because when you think about teams, like Julius Randle sticks out to me as a guy who just gets a smaller dude on him and generates free throws purely through that. Like, it's not really catching defenders out of position or beating guys to the basket and having them smack. He just gets smaller guys on him a lot and gets to the line as a result. nobody on the Thunder is really capable of like imposing themselves physically that way. I guess you could say once Jalen Williams has a head of steam, he does it, but it's often for like a split second as opposed to like a really like physical post up where they bump like 2 or 3 times and then the ref's like, okay, I got to step in. And then another part of it specifically for this matchup is just like when a team develops the reputation of being good defensively and especially being hard-nosed defensively the way that like the Rockets or the Magic are, they just get to beat the shit out of people sometimes. It's like that's the nature of officiating, I guess. It's the same reason that Draymond Green doesn't get the second technical ever, but yeah, it's just like what it is.
Yeah. So they need to figure out something. They need to go to the ref's house, get some dirt, get blackmail. We'll see. I don't know. Man, it's vigilante justice for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Who's next? I got nothing else on these guys.
Yeah, I got nothing else either. The Grizzlies at what 15?
Oh wait, are you time stamping or should I?
You can too. I'm just keeping it force a habit.
All right, you'll just send it to me. You'll just fax it.
Yeah, I'll just fax it over. The last 4, the Grizzlies have beat the Warriors, beat the Wizards, beat the Nets, lost to the Lakers. Goddamn. The ass kicking of last night at 13 games last night. So a lot of basketball being played. Obviously, we didn't catch every single game, but this one, I mean, the Grizzlies went up, I think 22 points in the first quarter and really never looked back. They beat the absolute dog shit out of the Warriors. I think the final score they won by 40, I want to say 45 maybe. Just a very one-sided affair that I have seen some people being like, oh, the Grizzlies are only good because they've played like a cupcake schedule. That's coincided with this really good run. I didn't necessarily feel that way. And if you do feel that way, I don't think the Warriors win is like the Warriors have not been a good team lately. So it's not like this is insane. It's not like you're doing this to, I don't know, the Bucks or the Celtics or something. But regardless, really impressive performance. I really liked Jaren Jackson Jr. I checked his stats. He's played Draymond really well the last like 6 times they've matched up. And he didn't have crazy numbers in this game or anything, like 17, 6, and 5 on good efficiency. But I just would expect Draymond to give him more trouble. Like for all of the things that Jaren Jackson Jr. has struggled with throughout his career, I thought that Draymond did stuff like that pretty well, but when I looked back, he's given him like 29, 27, 25, 32 if you're going back through the games. So, yeah, another good game from him. Santi Aldama played very well. Just all around good vibes. It's a parade inside my city. Yeah.
It's because he's a Michigan State guy. Draymond goes easy on him. They can do no wrong. Remember, Miles Bridges can do no wrong.
Oh, did he say that?
He said that. Real Draymond Green quote. That's remember when Miles Bridges started a fight with somebody, and he's it was Miles. Who did he fight on the team?
On the
I
Hornets?
forget, but he shoved someone on the Warriors, I think.
Oh.
He started some kind of fight, and then was it Grant Williams?
Was Grant Williams on the Warriors? That doesn't make sense.
He was not. I'm forgetting the whole context of this, but basically, yeah, he said he went out of his way to say Miles Bridges can do no wrong. That's his little brother. But yeah,
Cool.
the Grizzlies are playing well. Did you see the Thinking Basketball video about them?
About how they don't use screens?
Yeah, it's nuts. I did not realize what they were doing.
It's so cool. Every time Thinking Basketball puts out a video, I feel that way. But like I'll just watch a video. I'll be like, damn, I do not watch basketball the same way that these guys watch.
No.
Like I am stupid at the end of the day. Yeah, it was really cool though. They definitely. It feels very because I was just talking to someone online about how I feel like the Celtics right now are kind of a natural progression of how the Spurs used to play basketball in like 2013-14 era. And they were like, stylistically, because the Celtics take so many threes that they're not identical to the Spurs. If you're looking for a team that's just close to them, the Grizzlies this year do feel a lot like it. Just the amount of like ball movement and everything going on at the same time to just like generate really easy looks in the paint or at the rim. It's very old Spurs-esque, and so yeah, it's cool to watch and it's fun basketball for sure.
It's nuts for this is the type of thing, like the whole crowd of people that say every team plays the same. It's like these are the types of things that even us, we can't pick on just by watching. We can't pick up just by watching them live. We need someone to do a in-depth breakdown. Be nice if the person doing that worked for the NBA, like was calling the game and was like, "Hey, I watched the film. Guess what? Guess what? These guys are doing way different than everybody else." And then the talk shows did that too. But no, the only way anybody knows is if Ben Taylor decides to sink his fangs into a team and then tell everyone. But wait, what are you gonna say?
Well, I was just gonna say I kind of prefer when my broadcasters are like, "Oh, yeah, he took a three. Everyone's taking threes these days, and they're all the exact same kinds of threes." And then we get to the halftime report, and it's like, "God damn it, I'm sick of all these threes, and everyone taking these threes the exact same way." And then for most NBA fans or consumers, that's it. That's the whole experience. I like that like. The only reason ours is not like that is because we actively seek out like Ben Taylor and stuff. It would be bad if everybody got to kind of experience or learn about all the different ways basketball is played.
Me watching football and saying this is literally boring. It's either a pass or run every play. What the heck?
Wow, this guy, shocker. They're kicking the extra point, guys. Oh, cool. Congratulations.
If he throws a deep ball, I'm gonna kill myself. But yeah, for anybody not familiar with what we're talking about, so the Grizzlies have the number 4 offense in the league, and they do not use on-ball screens. They use off-ball screens, but they do not use on-ball screens really. Draymond Green, veteran, one of the greatest defenders in NBA history, he said, "I've never seen anything like it." He's a guy who pioneered the switch everything defense, one of the greatest defenses in history. He said, "I've never seen anything like it." Essentially what's happening is the on-ball player is attacking in isolation, and the rest of the players are just moving into space simultaneously. They're just like someone will float to a wing or a corner to create space, but then as soon as a defender steps up in the middle of the floor, they cut baseline so they could get a wide open dunk. It's crazy. They're just creating open shots by moving all at the same time, and they are the second fastest team since '97 in terms of how many seconds it takes for them to get to their first shot or the first turnover.
How many seconds?
Which is 12 seconds. There's only it's like almost a full second ahead of the 7 seconds or less Suns. It's like 7/10 faster or something than the Kings from 2 years ago that were running up and down. Guess who's number 1? Who's the one team since '97 that was faster?
Oh man, were they like a good team?
They were a playoff team. They were like a mid-seeded playoff team.
Is it the Pacers last year?
No, and I'll give you a hint. It was a team that was very spearheaded by one guy. He really set the tone and the identity.
Oh, man. Fuck. One guy who really set the tone for an extremely fast-paced team. Did they just like shot chuck and not play defense?
Honestly, I don't think of this team as a whole as being like the fastest team in the world. I feel like it comes down to this one guy.
Is it like John Wall and the Wizards?
Close, but no.
Fuck. Is it Russell Westbrook in the like a Thunder year?
It is. It's the 1819 Oklahoma City Thunder.
Okay.
And so So it's weird that this is the fastest team ever. So this is Paul George, Steven Adams, Jeremy Grant, Schroeder. Okay, so they got some fast guys. Terrence Ferguson.
And they generated a lot of turnovers as well, I'm pretty sure. So that probably helps with all of that.
Yeah, Nerlens, Markieff Morris. So, but I feel like it just entirely comes down to Westbrook getting it and just running down and chucking it up.
Any other point guard, like, it's insane that Steven Adams is the center for the fastest team of all time. Like, that does not make a ton of sense.
But that's another thing the Grizzlies are doing. They'll just inbound the ball to whoever, and all of them can take it up. Like, even Jay Huff can dribble. Like, only Jay Huff, Santi Aldama, Jaren Jackson. Zach Edey can't dribble. That's about it.
My dad hates Draymond Green, and we were watching him try to guard Edey in the post, and Edey like straight up elbowed him in the head one time, and my dad was like, "Yeah, get him!" So funny.
That's Big Ten basketball.
Oh yeah, he was like, "It makes me question how Purdue was coaching this guy. He's so mobile."
So the average team in the NBA runs 89 ball screens or dribble handoffs per 100 possessions. So that's the average. Guess who the highest is?
Are they a good offensive team?
No.
Like the Hornets.
It's the Nets.
Oh, okay.
The Nets run 117 per game. So the second fewest is the Celtics with 71. What do you think Memphis is at?
Like 60 something.
They are at 43.
Holy shit.
They are much lower than everybody else. It's the lowest since the stat has been tracked, but that's only going back 12 years.
Yeah.
But still. And the number, he said the number is even lower when Ja goes to the bench, because Ja is like a pick and roll maestro, so he's calling for more than the other guys. But so it's a crazy thing. So my thoughts are, and he says at the end of the video, like, is this a new, basically, is this a new meta, or is this going to get shut down eventually as teams adapt to it, or as they see more film on it or something? And so my thinking is one adaptation to this is teams can choose not to help. Yeah. They can just play into the style of offense and just guard these guys straight up in isolation and just live with not helping and just focus on taking away everything else, because Ja Morant is obviously a problem. Jaren Jackson Jr. is a problem. Desmond Bane,
he should be a problem, but he has not been this year.
He should, but even him, like, at his best, is he a guy who can reliably create in the playoffs against the best defenses in isolation? Like, when you go up against the best teams in the playoffs, how many of these Grizzlies guys, like, could this team actually sustain an offense if they just had everyone attacking in isolation all the time?
Oh, no. I don't think so. Because, even, like, it's not like Ja, I don't know the points per possession or anything, but Ja does not leap off the screen as a guy that, like, just letting him be in isolation is maximizing his talents or anything, even though he is blowing. Like, it's easy for him to blow by a defender and get to the rim, especially if there's no help. That would probably be pretty productive, but I just don't know for the whole team's offense. Yeah, I don't think, if they have to play like the Thunder and all of those guys, they're just allowing those guys to, like, go one-on-one. That's not going to work.
My thought was the Rockets. That's literally how they want to play defensively. They want those one-on-one matchups. So that's already a bad matchup for them. But yeah, and then the other thing is this is a volleyball principle. This is I've been wanting this for so long. Just really, movement itself is a weapon in basketball, and just, it's like there's even a clip in his video where he shows LeBron getting confused by the defense. He's like, even LeBron hasn't seen this. It was just like a guy like LeBron is just walking with a guy and then he immediately back cuts. LeBron's like, "What's going on? Why did you do that?" And it's just funny how being stagnant, like when you just take the same stagnant guy, like it makes sense to be stagnant out on the perimeter, just be like, well, I'm an easy pass for this guy to make for a 3-pointer if we need, and you have to choose. The movement will come if you choose to stick to me or if you choose to go somewhere else and put out a fire somewhere else. But you can still do the same thing if you have everyone moving. You can still generate open shots for your teammates, but just by having everyone move at the same time. And when everyone's moving, it just makes everything so much harder to guard as a defense. And so I want more of this. I've talked about this before. I want a football offense in basketball. I want everyone to stop at the half court line and then run a play, and they all go in simultaneous motion. That way you got to figure it out in real time. You don't get to see how everyone's standing. I also want more in volleyball. They have the fake spikes. Oh, by the way, Nebraska lost.
Yeah, I was flipping between that and a couple other games. Fake news.
But I want more guys jumping for fake lobs, because if you jump, they're gonna think you're throwing it to them. So I want guys jumping without even knowing if they're getting the ball. Just as part of the set, and I want everyone moving at the same time. I want as much movement as possible.
Yeah, I will say when we're talking about like, is this a new meta or is this something that will eventually get figured out? To me, it feels like this could be like a third thing where, especially for like units that don't have an exceptional like isolation guy, this could be a good alternative to make offensive life easier for everybody else. Like when I think about the Nuggets backup, like the Nuggets bench guys, they have guys that can like run around and do things. It's just that individually, outside of like Westbrook, nobody on ball can create very much at all. And so
Jalen Pickett back down.
It's not working. It's not translating, believe it or not. He's so small. When I saw him in person, he turned around and I saw Pickett on his jersey. I was like, "Oh, that's the post-up point guard?" Oh shit. Yeah, but so
he's got really long arms though.
Hey, well that means he can't handle the ball. Shout out to Jalen Williams.
Oh.
Yeah, but yeah, I think it's something that like has kind of been created out of necessity, given the Grizzlies don't have a ton of like high level screeners. I haven't locked in on how good of a screener Jay Huff is. Obviously Edie's good. Obviously Jaren Jackson Jr. is just kind of okay at that. But it feels like this will just be like not the meta, but could be something that other teams could adopt, especially for lineups that don't have like a real go-to star in them. Like if you had TJ McConnell running the ship for an offense like this, that seems like it could be fun. That seems like a guy that lends his skills lend well to a style like this.
I was thinking DeRozan. I was like, any way the Grizzlies could get DeRozan? That could be kind of sick.
I mean, it'll take a second for us to get down there, but we could talk about it. Do you got any other Grizzlies thoughts, or you want to keep it pushing?
In December, Desmond Bane is 16, 5, and 6 on 63% true shooting, 37% from three. So maybe he's getting back to normal. And I was thinking, like, could his struggles be related to this? Like, is it just more difficult for him to create in isolation? But I couldn't find any data to back that.
Cool. Well, good thing you don't need it when you come on State of the League. It's all opinions, man. So maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Only time will tell.
That's why, guys. Write it down.
That's why. Speaking of write it down, timestamp. The Rockets. Their last 4 games, they've beaten the Pelicans, the Clippers, the Warriors, and they lost to the Thunder. Another team that we spent a long time talking about. Plus, they don't even have the benefit of like having a cool game against the Magic. They just beat the Pelicans pretty soundly. They're good at defense, and the offense is kind of sketchy. Do you have any thoughts?
Not really. They are what they are until the roster changes.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, 34-30. Sorry, Rocket. I mean, if you make it deep into the NBA Cup, that's your reward. We talked about you ad nauseum. I wonder what that means in Latin. We talked about you till we got fucking sick, till we got nauseous. The Mavs. Okay, last four. The Mavericks have beaten the Warriors, the Raptors, and then they lost to the Thunder and the Clippers. No Luka in that loss to the Clippers last night. I mostly talked about the win over the Warriors, where they scored 143 points, and the teams combined set an NBA record for made threes in a game. Did you watch this game?
Nope.
Cool. It was a classic, dominant Luka game. 45 points, 13 assists, 11 rebounds, 5 stocks, 84.
Wait, when was this game?
It was a minute ago. I think it was on Sunday.
What day is today?
Friday.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, for me, this felt like the first real, Luka back kind of game, where he's had good games and he did have a slow start to the season. This one, just overwhelming individual shot making to start. Like, it felt like they were comfortable leaving him one-on-one to start the game, and it let him see the ball go in a few times too many, and then by the time they really started sending help, he just had the hot hand and was cooking whoever. And then, I mean, we'll talk about it more with the Warriors, I guess, but this also really felt like it exposed how small they were, where it was like, God damn, Gary Payton II is... You're trying to guard Luka with Gary Payton II post-ups? I don't know if that's going to work. So, yeah, when Wiggins...
What happened to Wiggins, the stopper?
He tried his best at the beginning. He can't play 48 minutes. So, yeah, he was really good. And then Clay also looked really good against them as well. 29 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 90% true shooting, including 13 points in the fourth quarter. In the last 4... He's averaging 23 points while shooting 44% from 3 on 10 attempts, and it's nice. Najee Marshall has been in and out of the lineup over the past 6-7 games, so it's cool. While I think they're probably still better with Najee on the floor in place of Clay, if I had to pick, it's nice that you can have Clay there and still be a very potent team, even if the style of offense is different.
It probably depends on the matchup.
Yeah.
With those two, the Mavericks are just really good right now. In 181 minutes together, Luka, Kyrie, and Lively have an offensive rating of 122 and a defensive rating of 105. That would be the best offense and top 3 defense or something like that.
How many minutes you say?
181.
That's a fair amount.
I'd say, hey, that's something. That would be number 1 offense, number 2 defense. But yeah, when you go through the Mavericks team rankings, they're really good at a few things, and they're not terrible at anything.
Yeah.
So they're the 10th best free throw rate in the NBA. They're the 6th best in 3-point percentage. They're the 6th best in mid-range percentage. They're the 4th best in rim percentage. They're the 4th best half-court offense. They're the 13th best transition defense or offense. They're 11th in offensive rebounding percentage. They're the 2nd best transition defense. They're 15th in half-court defense. They're 8th in rebounding, in rebounds per game. So these guys are what's holding them back for us and for everyone? Why are they not in the OKC Boston category? Because they have a clear-cut superstar. They have one of the 5 best guys in the league. They have Kyrie Irving, who's I guess he was up and down in the playoffs last year, but just a co-star that a lot of people think is good. They have 2 bigs. They have PJ Washington. They have Klay Thompson. They have Najee Marshall. They have a ton of guys. Why? What is it to you that keeps them out of the top tier?
Really, I feel like we just there's fuck. What was I gonna say? Oh, I feel like Luka's injury and the way that they started the season like OKC has just been firing on all cylinders from the jump with guys in and out of the lineup, whatever. Like no matter who's been playing for them, they've been winning basketball games for the vast majority of the season. Whereas the Mavs, it's taken some time to figure everything out. Najee Marshall had a slow start to the season. Clay was not good defensively for a long time. I mean, they as a whole weren't really that good defensively. There were some moments where Lively kind of looked very sophomore season-esque, a pretty young guy still. I feel like lately they have played at like an OKC level for me. Like if someone came to me and they were like, for me the tiers are Boston 1, OKC and Dallas 2, and maybe like Cleveland or whoever you want to throw in there. I would be fine with that because I do feel like the Mavs are that talented and they have been playing at that level. You just still worry about like, okay, what's going to prevent... I know Luka was hurt in the Celtics series. What's going to prevent him from getting targeted on defense like that again? Similar to Kyrie a little bit. Like, Kyrie was fine, and I think he's not a bad defender. He's just like if you look at the Celtics lineups, or really if you look at the Thunder's lineups, is there someone as go-at-able as Kyrie Irving, size-wise and everything? Doesn't feel like it to me. And then beyond that, I don't know. Part of it is also just like those two teams have very clear-cut best lineups that they want rolling out. Whereas the Mavs, we're still kind of seeing that shake out with all, like what their best lineup's going to be. And I mean, like you said, it'll probably depend on the matchup. So I don't know. I feel like it's a combination of those things, but I really don't have them super far off from like the OKC tier. OKC has just been more consistent to start the year.
Yeah, I was thinking about it, and I think it's the concept I talked about before, where targeted on defense, ignored on offense. Despite them being such a good team, they have both of those. And I wasn't even thinking Kyrie. He is naturally small, but Luka is the one who was more abused.
Yes,
in the
absolutely.
playoffs
I don't
last
mean
year.
to imply that. I'm just saying like once you get, even if Luka managed to like be good, you do still have Kyrie out there, and it's not like Clay is like an all defense guy.
So they have these pressure points that teams can attack, and then last year PJ Washington was a guy that could be ignored on the offensive end, and Najee Marshall, there's a good chance like teams will live with Najee Marshall shooting from three, and so you gotta take your chances with that, and so, but then I got to think like maybe the Thunder are less of a certain bet right now, just because have they proven that they realistically can be that on offense, like that there will be no one to ignore?
Oh no!
What is their offense
Caruso?
right now?
They're middle of the pack. They're like 14th offensively, I think. Caruso right now is a guy that defenses would absolutely live with taking shots in the playoffs. I would say, especially if you look at like the past 15, 20, whatever games, Caruso has been that.
They're the 8th offense.
Oh shit! Okay, maybe I was looking at like a recent stretch then. Damn, that's.
Let's see. I'll do last 10.
Okay, I mean, yeah. But like
last 10. Ooh, the Mavericks are number 1 offense. Oh, they're better over the last 10. They're number 4.
Damn. Hey, I don't know ball. That's just yet another example. I'm an idiot. It is what it is. But I feel like Caruso, you probably live with. I feel like Lou Dort, if you're like a real good defense, you don't want him to be wide open. He's not like he's not Josh Giddey or something. But if you just had to pick players on the floor, yeah, it's survivable. So yeah, they definitely have guys on offense, and then especially once you get into like, if the responsibility falls to J-Dub to really take like an all-star level burden of on-ball creation, it could not work out. Like that's definitely possible. I'm a huge J-Dub guy. You are too. He's sick. He's cool, but strictly as like an isolation scorer, not not like a world beater against the best of the best defensively.
I'm counting on you, J-Dub. I've cashed a lot of checks in your name. Time to pay up.
Hey, LaMarcus Aldridge, he's gonna kill me if J-Dub doesn't do something impressive this post. It's gonna be scary. Do you have any other Mavs? We were talking Mavs.
No.
We got to the Thunder somehow. No?
Mavericks or Thunder? Series starts today. Who are you picking?
I'll probably still go with the Thunder, but that could go either way. I felt that way last year. I don't feel like a lot of stuff has changed, but vibes-wise, I still feel very similar about the dynamic between the two teams. Who's after the Mavs? Oh, damn it. Google Docs did a page break. Oh, my God. Perfect. You know who's after the Mavs. 45-30. The Denver Nuggets. The Denver Nuggets in their last 4. Hey, they were on a 3-game winning streak. They beat the Hawks. They beat the Clippers. They beat the Kings game. Oh, what a monumental win. They made this massive down-the-stretch comeback to like win in the closing seconds of the game. And it was so impressive. It was like real good clutch Jamal Murray for one of the few times that we've seen him this season. Jokic, they won the Jokic disaster class game. He was terrible in that game for most of it. He locks in at the end. They win because him and Jamal Murray lock in the two-man game. It was so good. A 3-game winning streak. And then they play the Portland Trailblazers. Surely they're on a 4-game winning streak. Surely.
That'd be crazy.
I mean,
Russell Westbrook in isolation in the defensive stance. Surely he stopped Anthony Simons from getting to the rim.
Oh my God, Shirley, don't call me Shirley. You know,
he's had a good couple games though, offensively, and I see good clips of him defensively. But how's the overall experience?
I mean, in a vacuum, I don't know where I would put him defensively. Within the contrasting every other guard defender that the Nuggets have, he's fucking Gary Payton, dude. Oh my God, like he is leagues above what the rest of this fucking roster is doing as far as guard defenders. It's not shocking to me that Anthony Simons beat him off the dribble, but I think he was just expecting help. Like if he's been playing with the Nuggets for 3 years, I don't know if he defends that possession the same way. Like if he's just completely used to having nobody behind him in those scenarios, he probably doesn't like allow the blow by as hard as he did. Yeah, just a real tough defensive night for Jokic. It was pretty disgusting. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, the biggest news with the Nugs is the trade news. It seems like an inevitability that they're going to trade Michael Porter Jr. for somebody. And so the rumors are Levine, Poole, and Cam Johnson. And so out of those, Cam Johnson makes 0 sense to me. Like, is he not just worse MPJ? What aspect of him is better? Less money, I guess?
Yeah, I guess. To be honest, I didn't even see his name in there that much. But yeah, he's like, I assume the idea is that he probably is better defensively. Even though I think Michael Porter Jr. is like, anybody who's saying he's completely fucking cooked on the defensive end, it's not that level anymore. Like that's wrong, but he's not a stalwart or anything. Like Aaron Gordon is still considerably better. He still gets beat by a variety of wings. So I think the idea there is that bringing Cam Johnson in, we're seeing MPJ with the Jokic boost right now, and we're seeing Cam Johnson without the Jokic boost. Like essentially in one of the worst scenarios a guy with that tool set could be in. And so if you were to bring him in, Jokic probably maximizes everything that he does offensively, but I agree with you. It's very, very lateral move. Like the construction of the team doesn't get any different if you trade for Cam Johnson. So, yeah, it would suck to lose MPJ.
It's just a guy, same skill set, older, not even like more durable. I don't know who's missed more games, but just seems bizarre. Jordan Poole. The problem is all these trade talks center around moving Michael Porter Jr. for someone else, for like another shot creator. But the reality is, like, they probably should be trading Murray. They're not gonna.
Well, they
But,
can't. That's the thing.
Oh, he still literally can't be traded?
Yeah. Okay. So the way I understand it, and maybe this is wrong, but you can't trade someone until 6 months exactly after they sign their extension. So his 6 months is well beyond this year's trade deadline. So it just won't work if they want to make a move this year. And if it was possible, I feel like I'd see way more, even like idiots on Twitter drawing up like fanspo trades or whatever. Like, I haven't seen anything being like, they should be trading Murray. So I just have been under the assumption he can't be traded.
Yes, Fanspo says Jamal Murray cannot be traded this year since he signed a maximum contract extension. So yeah, but it's a problem because like the issue is Murray, and so they're swapping out Michael Porter Jr. to get someone else to try and beat Jamal Murray. But then you still have Jamal Murray
Well,
right
you have
there.
two Jamal Murrays on your team, and
one broken one.
One of them's not playing good. What the heck, dude? Come on.
But Jordan Poole's the other guy. How would you feel?
Oh, it would be sick. Like, all of these guys, Levine would be incredible next to Jokic, and I think Jordan Poole would be as well. But yeah, I mean, the way I feel about the Nuggets right now is that their season is going to end because they can't get stops, and I don't like. You just get way, way, way worse if you put Michael Porter, if you get rid of him for a guard, like especially Poole, who I think he's been better on the defensive end this year in Washington than some people would give him credit for, but he's so small, and they're already not, like, Jokic kind of tricks you. Jokic and Aaron Gordon, you're like, this is a big team, and they have Michael Porter Jr. too, but like outside of that, Russell Westbrook's like the only guy who even exists from a physicality standpoint out there as like a rebounder or a hustle guy or a defender or anything. So yeah, I think if you bring in Jordan Poole, a lot of the stuff that's been flaring up in these, like, they were really bad at defensive rebounding in the Kings game. They were really bad at defensive rebounding in the Blazers game. I don't know how those have been throughout the whole season. When I've watched, they haven't been like killer flaws that just jump out at you, but that's also maybe Jokic was averaging like 13 rebounds a game, and in these games he had like 10 rebounds, 8 rebounds, whatever. So yeah, I don't think it's, when I think about going into the second apron, I don't think adding like Zach LaVine for Michael Porter Jr. makes you into a team that's worth doing, but maybe they're just desperate to make a move. I don't know.
The only perspective, well, even that one, because it's like, so if you're moving off Michael Porter Jr. because of injury concerns, because of long-term durability concerns, LaVine is not the guy to go to for that either. So
which I don't think that's the case. Like, I think most people are pretty comfortable with how healthy he's been. Like, he had the back thing a couple years ago, but the seasons where he's played like 60, 70 games. Am I wrong? Like, do you have his game log in front of you?
I could pull it up. Let's see.
I think, like, I swear he was 70 games last year. It's either been like he hasn't played in a couple of the seasons, or he's been just out there as much as possible.
He played 81 last year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
81, 62, 9, 61, 55. And then this year is at 25.
Okay.
So, but 26 years old. So I think a LaVine swap would be it would be like, you would gain something, but the question would be, are you better off in totality? But the rest of the guy, like Jordan Poole, is just giving up size and shooting for less reliable shooter, I think, less size, and just a guy who will be targeted on the defensive end
Yeah.
in the playoffs, and it'll be harder for him to create. So it's like the problem is defensively, and so really, your offense would be literally unstoppable
Mm-hmm.
if you had all guys who could make 3-pointers around Jokic. But swapping out your best one for another great one doesn't really change anything. Over the past 10 games, the Nuggets have the 22nd ranked defense. So yeah, all these moves, and they're like the sixth best offense, I think.
Yeah.
Still, yeah, but so really they need another Aaron Gordon trade.
Yeah, I was thinking that
Not trading him.
we
but
should just
get
completely
another guy.
fleece another team for a guy who's like a borderline all-star that'll do it. Yeah, that'll do it. Yeah, I'd say that'll do it. I'll let Calvin Booth know. I'll hit him up.
See if Denny's available.
I don't want. Hey, it took everything in my power. I had it queued up, but I didn't want to be a baby on the timeline last night. IDF soldier on the team, and somehow you still took a bigger terrorist at number 2 overall. Who the hell's running this franchise? Yeah, well, number 3. They were 3, right? Because the Hornets were.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But
The Hornets cooked.
Hey, that's one thing where it's like if the Hornets mess that up, it's like, oh, the most Hornets draft pick of all time. Well, I feel like they don't get any credit for like going against the grain there a little bit, which I wasn't super locked in to. I'm still not locked into the draft, but was Scoot like? Was it like holy shit they're not going Scoot, or it was just like either way like stuff there's concerns.
Yeah, it was because from both sides of it. So the nerds were like Brandon Miller, no self-creation, doesn't get to not no self-creation, but can't get to the rim.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to take a guy who can't get to the rim at number 2, no matter what. He's not Paul George because he can't get to the rim. Scoot and the draft nerds did like Scoot, but they weren't as high as the mainstream draft media and the mainstream sports media. The mainstream label on Scoot was that he was a generational prospect. Guys, I have videos before. Go check my TikTok, guys. I have videos before saying he's not. So it's W for me, but I still thought he would be better than Brandon Miller for sure. But no, he got this tag of being like, oh, if Wemby wasn't in this draft, this would be the Scoot draft. Like, this is like John Wall. This is like a big deal prospect. But the reality was, he played 2 years in the G League. The first year, he was too young to come out. But that year, he was really good for his age. And so everyone was like, oh my God, if he continues to get better, if he comes out here next year and is even better, this kid's going to be nuts. But he didn't really do that.
Yeah.
I think his numbers regressed a little bit in the G League, and then you just kind of had a small guard, although he built physically already and massive wingspan, but still small guard who the mid-range shooting numbers are really good, but the 3-point was questionable, and he could pass. But so like, it was just unfair expectations for him to be considered like can't miss.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's fair.
And he is just, I don't know why he's so bad. It's crazy how bad he is.
He is genuinely terrible right now. It's
nothing's canon until year 3, but still, it's crazy.
Nothing's canon, but like even with the Darius Garland example, you could be like, okay, well, you could build a church on the rock that is this 3-point shooting. Like that's a skill.
And Suggs the same with defense, but I don't know what Scoot has right now.
Yeah, so that's tough. Do you have any final Nuggets thoughts?
No, get these frauds out of here.
Fucking sick of fat idiot. Fucking have you seen Giannis? How pregnant's your girlfriend, Jokic? How about you get in the bedroom, loser?
Well, he just had one.
I mean, that's never stopped Giannis.
That's definitely true. That horny man monster.
Every time he's in front of a microphone, he's like, "Hey, did you know I have sex with my wife?" It's pretty great.
Check out my blowjob bell, everyone on Instagram Live.
Everyone on Instagram. Hey, children watching this. You know what? Ding, ding, ding.
Cancel Giannis.
Cancel Giannis. The Suns
selling blowjob bells to kids.
Selling blowjob bills on Instagram Live. The last four for the Suns. They beat the Blazers. They beat the Jazz. They lost to the Magic. They lost to the Pacers. Just their third loss of the season with Kevin Durant in the lineup. Pretty crazy. This was one of the games that it was the casualty of a 13 game slate where there's just other shit going on. I flipped around, but I wasn't watching it super closely. I want to watch it back because, okay, Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, Tyus Jones. What do we think the shot distribution is between those three guys? If they took 29 shots combined, what do we think the shot distribution is?
We'll say the names again.
Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, Tyus Jones.
Okay, so I'm going to think Devin Booker's taking the most shots, and then I'll think Bradley Beal's taking the second most shots, and I would pencil in Tyus Jones at a distant third most shots out of this group.
That's what I thought too, but then Tyus Jones took 10, and Devin Booker took 10, and Bradley Beal took 9, and so
the Vogue,
and I mean maybe that's the best point guard in the league, just attacking the advantages that other guys have created, but I don't really know if I believe that. So I gotta go back and rewatch.
I gotta go reback. Guys, get him.
Fuck, shit, God.
Girls, get him.
Girls, get him. They thems get them. Yeah, I don't have any Suns thoughts beyond that.
Kevin Durant, despite the loss against the Pacers, 37, 10, 6, 2 steals on 27 shots, 65% true shooting. What a beast.
He's so good, dude.
Yeah, I think he had some bad turnovers, but I don't care. The Suns have the second highest payroll of any American sports team, behind only the Mets and ahead of the Dodgers and Yankees and Timberwolves. Kind of crazy.
Wait, the Suns are paying their players more than the Yankees are paying their players?
Yeah, it must be yearly.
Yeah. I don't think it's like I don't think they're factoring in Aaron Judge's entire fucking $600 million contract into that. That's still crazy though.
Yeah, because they have more guys and they have so many expensive guys.
Yeah.
And all that for what?
Oh, the Suns. Did you see the value menu?
Yeah.
Pretty base.
Winning starts with our fans. When I walk the concourse at games, there aren't food options for families who don't want to spend a lot of money. That needs to change. So today we're rolling out our $2 value menu for all Suns home games. Matt Ishbia. So cheaper than what you could get at McDonald's, really, and Taco Bell. Isn't that interesting? But also, Matt Ishbia, put him on basic cable. I think that made it easier for them to. The Bulls did a thing where you have to buy an antenna to watch, but it made it more hard to watch on CHGO or whatever.
Yeah.
Which they literally, the devil himself, Satan, Jerry Reinsdorf, he took them off of. They were on NBC Sports. Him and the Blackhawks owner or whatever, they started their own sports network called CHGO or whatever. They're like, Blackhawks, White Sox, and Bulls games are going to be on here. It's existed for I don't know how long, but they're all like, they just moved the games there. They're already doing layoffs. What a great thing for your bootleg streaming service that nobody's gonna watch. And I hate them.
It'd be so. It's like he seems like, all right, we made our own streaming service, and we don't have an app. We're not making an app for this, guys. You can only do it on dial-up internet. That's the only way to watch Bulls games.
Let me type this in. How to watch Bulls games? Well, don't do this, guys. Because we're deplatforming. This is like looking up how to make meth. But yeah, don't do this. 2 months ago from the Bulls subreddit, genuinely asking, how am I supposed to watch games this year? I own a computer, smartphone, gaming consoles, and smart TV with Xfinity. Is there actually any option to watch the games right now, or is hitting the high seas the only way to do it? Depending on where you live, I'd buy a $10 antenna and watch it on your local broadcast. Not a ton of great options unless you want to watch it on Stream East. And some guy said, I bought the antenna. It's showing audio only. Does anyone know how to fix this? So yeah, I don't know. It just seems like a complete disaster. I'm not watching these games at all because they're deplatformed,
That's so
and I'm not
funny.
watching. I'm certainly not watching through legal means.
Yeah.
Parody. But yeah, I don't know if the Suns are facing the same thing. I think the Suns ratings went up, but I don't know. I'll have to check.
Well, that makes sense because they're good. They should be platformed.
They should be platformed. They went. Although I would still be upset if I was a Suns fan, except for the Bradley Beal trade.
Yeah, the Beal trade was insane, but whatever.
But to connect it all back, Matt Ishbia's brother he put in an offer to buy the White Sox. Jerry Reinsdorf said nope.
Nah, I'm good. You seem too competent. No. We don't really like that around here.
I'm busy running this into the ground, so you're gonna have to. I'm not interested. We just had the worst season ever. I'm threatening to move the team to Nashville because I want new stadium money. But no, I want to stay in the White Sox business. I want to keep it around. I'm literally the worst human being on earth. All violence that happens to everyone else on the population should be concentrated into one bubble. Did you finish Thriller Bark?
Yeah, I just started watching Fishman Island again. But yeah, I did finish Thriller Bark.
Realistically, if he got what he deserved, it would be Kuma pushing pain bubbles out of every person on the planet and then condensing it into one gigantic pain bubble and then forcing Jerry Reinsdorf to feel it. That's what would be fair.
That's such a crazy ass devil fruit that you could just do that.
Odysseus shook.
Oh my god, he's got so much motion, dude. Oh my god, the first Christian man to have that much motion. It's like him and it's Jesus, and that's it.
Yup. So yeah, I'm jealous. I wish an Ishbia owned my favorite team.
All right, the Wolves. What are we at? 107, let's call it. All right, the Wolves. Last four, they beat the Spurs and the Lakers, and then they lost to the Warriors and the Knicks. Yeah, I thought the Knicks. So we talked last time about how well they've been defending. They played the Lakers, the Clippers, and the Warriors a bunch, and that's three teams that kind of confusing offensively. The Warriors have been really, really ass lately. The Lakers have been up and down. And then the Clippers, even though they have James Harden, kind of underwhelming. Like, they win because of their defense, too, I feel like. So this Knicks game, where the Knicks have been one of the best offenses in the league all year long, I thought it was like a good test to kind of see how much of this Wolves defense renaissance is real. And they could still be a good defense just because they lost one game in embarrassing fashion. It's not the end of the world. But God, they failed the test. I'll say that much. If this was a good test of their defense, F-. No makeup test. No extra credit. You failed the class. It's crazy. Cat, 32, 20, and 6 on 100% true shooting. He took 12 shots in this game, and he scored it was crazy, dude.
Oh, they can't guard their own. He's Cat for life. He's Timberwolf for life.
The big bodega.
They're not gonna shut him down. But you know who did get shut down partially? The two girls who tried to run on the court. Did you see?
Oh, I did. Minnesota always has some shit like this going on. They've had people do protests 10 times.
No other team, it seems, this happens to. There must be something uniquely penetrable about the layout.
Their owner is the guy who he invents new ways. Yeah, he invents new ways to liquefy animals. So maybe he's more susceptible to people hating him than like the restaurateur guy for Houston.
Well, these girls weren't animal rights activists. My understanding is they were promoting their OnlyFans.
Oh,
so okay, but okay idea, not great execution, because I don't think anybody saw.
Yeah. Um, that's kind of. You figured they would run like I don't care personally, but you figure they would run on naked if they were doing like.
Yeah, with words on their boobs and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Thank God.
Yeah.
I mean, I would. That's revolting to me personally, but to each their own.
Also, someone said it was OnlyFans. Another person said crypto. I don't know.
Well,
So
I mean, the
I
OnlyFans is infinitely more respectable.
yeah. But yeah, defense is back to top 4. Offense is 21. Um, and so I was thinking, is it possible to overcome Julius Randle? Certainly, this is all his fault.
He played
But
pretty good in this game.
yeah, he realistically, I was going through the metrics. Their second most played lineup is Edwards, DiVincenzo, Nikhil Alexander-Walker, Randall, and Naz Reid. And that lineup is killing people offensively. It has a 129.7 offensive rate, so that'd be best in the league.
Mm-hmm.
And so is their third most played lineup, which is the same thing. Just swap out Conley and Gobert for Edwards and Randall. So what I've discovered in the on-off numbers is somehow Jaden McDaniels is a uniquely destructive force. Like whenever Jaden McDaniels is out there, the offense is horrible. I don't understand why. He doesn't have the ball that much, right? I mean,
Well,
how could he
he's the
possibly
prime
be
example
draining
of
them?
like he's the prime example of like ignored on defense versus attacked on defense versus ignored on offense. Like he he doesn't register as like. Have you ever seen World War Z?
Yes, but I'd probably in the theaters, so I won't remember it that well.
So like the whole thing with that with those zombies is that if someone has a terminal disease, the zombies don't recognize them as a good host for their like parasite or whatever they're zombies by, and so the zombies don't even like register them, like they don't see them or anything. That's Jaden McDaniels.
Guy on Twitter. I have ADHD, so they probably won't use me as a host. My anxiety would keep me safe.
ableist zombies be like, are you autistic? Get out of here. We don't need you. Oh man.
Are you really into trains? No thanks.
No, thank you. We can't. I would hate if all my zombies were stimming everywhere instead of biting people. That's not what we do as zombies. Yeah. So that's Jaden McDaniels. They don't even register him. He's not, and to be fair, I feel like if he was playing with a maybe different passers, he could exist as like a cutter type guy. Like if he was playing with Luka or Jokic or Trey or whoever, he's an athlete and he can get to the basket all right, but he just can't shoot. Even though coming into this game, he was like 9 of his last 19 threes over a long stretch because he's taking like 2 threes a game or whatever. But yeah, just really destructive offensively in a way that I don't know if it's going to change.
We cannot fathom.
Yeah,
We
I mean,
cannot comprehend.
if you're listening to this, can't put it into words. Like you just sit in a dark, go to a sensory deprivation chamber, and maybe it will enlighten itself into your head how bad he's been.
What's it called? The Anthony Edwards still shooting Steph Curry numbers from 3-point range. I'll tell you what, this season is really it's really proving the greatness of Steph Curry. Did not lie in the 3-point shooting, or did not lie in the 3-point making.
Mm-hmm.
Like it wasn't just because he was a great shooter. It's because he's Steph Curry overall. It's because of the movement. It's because of the passing. It's because of the finishing. He's been an elite finisher his entire career.
Satoru Gojo. Is he, is he the strongest or is the strongest Gojo?
Is Steph Curry the strongest because of 3-pointers, or are 3-pointers the strongest because of Steph Curry? Well, we found out Steph Curry's the strongest. Also, we found out Gojo's. I hate Sukuna fans, bro. He wouldn't have. They say that if he just went his Hyene form or Hane form, whatever,
Yeah.
that he would have just beat him with domain expansion
Oh my
and
god.
domain amplification.
Gojo can tank his domain. It's called fucking whatever. We don't need
I guess it would. I guess it would get stronger. I don't know. He's a
whatever.
fraud. Fraud either way, and it felt lame. Plot hole. Gay.
Hey, when it gets animated though, it's gonna be so sick.
God.
Are you gonna watch? I
I'll be-
mean, are you even gonna watch? Or are you just so sick that you're like,
Oh, of course. I'll watch my goat fight.
it's gonna be so good, dude. Because at the very least, he is mogging him the entire fight. He's like, I'm so cool. You're cheating, and I don't even care right now. Cool.
I'm gonna start a movement like the Attack on Titan fans and other shows where like the anime will have a different ending.
We're making a different fan. I think there literally is one of those right now, for like someone's writing an alternate ending manga for it. And like the second they announced it, all of JJK Twitter was like, "Yo, you're stupid. You can't write a better ending. I'm sorry."
You can't repeat the past. You can't repeat the past.
Repeat my ass.
Oh, I just rewatched Hunter x Hunter. Hunter for those.
Bro, it's so good.
If it flies by. I just having the dub on in the background.
Mm-hmm.
I went through it in like a week and a half.
Good dub too. Not unlistenable dub.
Yeah. Yeah, the only bad part is when Gon is like freaking out, it hits way less hard in English.
Oh my god. The sub for Gon's Peter. Yeah. Oh my god, dude. It's crazy.
Why? The problem is his dub voice actor. I literally Googled it at the start to see if it was Jimmy Neutron. It's not Jimmy Neutron,
but it sounds like him.
Just like Jimmy Neutron.
Damn, dude, we could do a whole episode because like there's so Heaven's Arena, so cool. Greed Island, so cool. The Chimera Ants, they straight up scared me the first time I watched it. I was like, these guys are sick fucks, dude. Like,
They're killing kids.
They're killing kids. They got people on fucking leashes. The king.
I'd be so mad if I got eaten by a giant ant. That's like the worst way to go out.
It depends what animal I come back as. And are you gonna read? So did you rewatch it to start picking up the manga again?
Maybe once. So they went on hiatus again, but he announced that he has like 50.
Yeah, he's
chapters
back
done
to some degree,
kind of. That they can work on. So, I might wait because have you ever read it? I've read it before.
Yeah, I read through because I wanted to get to the Hisoka Crollo fight, and it's great. It's like before the Gojo Sukuna fight. That was one of the best fights I've ever read. But it is a ton of reading.
He is an insane person, and it's crazy. The anime makes how much detail he puts into stuff so much more digestible, but everything is so convoluted. Like Greed Island is incredibly convoluted with the card system and everything, but it doesn't detract from it. The anime ends with the election arc. It just explaining all the election rules is so convoluted. Yeah. Everything.
I've been getting
an insane amount of detail into everything.
I've been getting a lot of TikToks. I guess spoilers because I've been learning about some of the characters that are on, like, they're going to the Dark Continent right now, I guess is what's happening. And I've been learning about some of the characters on there, and a lot of them have like JoJo's. JoJo's powers where it's like this guy straight up like alters the future and shit. And so like, and I'm fine if that's your power, but the way he writes, he feels the need to be like, this is how it works from like a tech, like this is how it functions. This is how it scientifically works. And I'm like, you could just say he changes the future and like develop a workaround for that for Kurapika to beat him at some point. I don't need to know scientifically how all this shit breaks down.
There are 8 rules when it comes to his power. Here are all 8 in depth,
Hey,
in paragraphs. But there are exceptions that accompany every rule. But when you pair them with other Nen,
if he was a typical Nen user, there would be these
Yeah.
exceptions. But he was 1 in 1 trillion, born of the bloodline of the cocky, and so it's like, yeah.
Oh my god!
But that's why.
I
That's why Nen is the best power system, because like they put that much shit into it. Like it's so goated.
I've been thinking about that a lot. Is it better to come up with it yourself, or is it better to be assigned, or which is cooler? People coming up with the powers themselves, or making the best of what they're assigned with?
I like coming up with the powers yourself because it does feel like there are tiers of strength in Hunter x Hunter still, like fucking Zushi or whoever they fight in like the Karate Kid. He's not going to beat some of the strongest people in the universe, but once you get into,
well, we'll see with time.
Yeah, with prep time. Once you get into the same tier as somebody, it really, like, how smart you are matters so much. And it's like that in JJK to some degree, like Sukuna and Gojo.
They definitely, they tried to. The influence is very clearly there from Hunter.
Yeah, but like the way that some people, like Kurapika's chains, such a fucking cool ability. There's so many great abilities that, like, yeah, you could tell. I like someone taking the skills that they've already developed, because you also don't get to do it right away. Like, you have to become like one of the strongest people on the planet, like a top 0.1% person, before you even access the ability to make up your own power. So you've like developed your own style of doing everything already, and then you get to like absolutely maximize it if you're a smart person. So I think that I like it more.
Yeah, it's in Hunter you have the condition. Oh, I'm only going to use this power against the Phantom Troop, so that makes sense. That's why I'll be the strongest person, but only against these guys.
Mm-hmm.
In JJK, it's like I make the condition. Sukuna, I'm going to make 9 different conditions over the course of this fight that I get to cut through space and time if I don't use my left hand anymore or whatever. It's like, whatever, bro.
Yeah, and those are the fact that you can just like binding vow in a split second. I guess it's kind of cool because like that's like kind of the cop out. Is everything Sukuna does, people, if you fuck with him, it's either a display of his mastery of cursed energy.
He's a genius.
He's this is why he's been undefeated for a fucking billion years. Or it's like he just wrote himself into a corner there and he just made a binding vow to get out of it, but whatever. Yeah, I don't know. I miss Hunter x Hunter. Maybe I will rewatch it because it also starts such a fun opening too, like the Hunter exam as like a way to get in.
I thought that would drag, but it didn't.
Yeah. All right, fuck. I just wrote down in the middle of the timestamps Hunter x Hunter Yap Talk, so that's on you to click back through and find where that starts, but it ends at 123. What are we at? The Wolves, we just finished. Sorry, Timberwolves fans, you guys suck now. Kind of. Hey, at least you're not the fucking Warriors. 1-3 in their last 4. Beat the Wolves. They lost to the Rockets, the Mavs, and the Grizzlies. I've said all season that, like, you don't really learn anything about your team when you get blown out. But I feel like that loops back around when you hit like the 40-point blowout mark. And then it's like, okay, well, maybe something's got to give. If we were already having like a disappointing stretch of the season and it led us to this moment, the second that we played like a comp, the Grizzlies are not even like the top of the West. Yeah, they're just like really good. And so, yeah, it feels substantial for them not only to lose in this way, but for Draymond and Steph to be so ineffective in this game.
Yeah, they got wrecked 144-93. Steph was held without a field goal in 24 minutes of play. 2 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 0 for 7, 0 for 6 from 3. The last time he was held without a field goal was
2016 finals.
2028. What you're bogus. 2018, March 8th. And he only played 2 minutes in that game. Before that, it was March 11th, 2012, the last year before the World.
Coney
ended.
2012.
And he was stressed about that. He only played 9 minutes. And then before that, it was February in 2012. He only played 3 seconds. So these are unprecedented Steph Curry playing actual minutes numbers, and he was a big stinker. Golden State's non-Wiggins starters, they scored 9 points on 3 of 28 shooting, 0 for 12 from 3, 10 turnovers. And I think Draymond, I forgot to write down Draymond. Draymond was like historically uniquely horrible.
He had 1 steal, and that was it in 19 minutes. I wrote it down. So 0 points, 0 rebounds, 0 assists, 0 blocks, 1 steal, 0 of 4 from the field in 19 minutes.
19 minutes, and he was a negative 42. And Steph was a negative 41.
I think Draymond's negative 42 is the worst plus minus for somebody who played like 18 plus minutes or something.
I saw someone asked that in a tweet, but then someone pulled up someone who did worse, who's a friend of the program, so we won't bring it up. So
Larry Nance?
I didn't say it.
It's none of our business. Larry Nance tries his hardest wherever he goes.
Not our come on next week and explain, Larry. Yeah. What was going on?
We bring him on and we're like, hey, explain when you were minus 68 in this game 8 years ago.
Tell us why. It wasn't your fault, right?
Yeah,
it was Wall Street collapsing, you know?
Yeah, all that stuff.
But yeah, the Warriors were 12-3 in their first 15 games. They just went 2 for 9. The Bucks were 2 for 8 or 2 and 8 in their first 10 games. Now they've gone 12-3. So they're flipping the script. Who's more real?
I would say the Bucks, cuz the Bucks, it's more like I feel like it got so bad that a lot of people gave up hope that this could happen, but for a long time everyone was just waiting for it. And I'm not going to act like I was like, "Oh, just wait. They're going to be able to defend soon. It's all coming." But yeah, the Bucks feel more real to me. Which is not to say the Warriors are like a 2-9 team or that they're really, really, really bad. Some of this is just poor level of play that will even out, but yeah, in terms of like getting to like a competitive playoff team level, I'm a little scared. Do you have any final? I don't have that much written down for them.
We're in trouble. That's all I got to say. I'm hoping, praying for a turnaround. Steph Curry, you can't put him in the court. You guys think Steph Curry is going to be playing this bad all the time? You're an idiot. So, we'll see.
You know who else is an idiot? Steve Ballmer and the Clippers. Last 4, they beat the Mavs, the Jazz, and they lost to the Nuggets and the Rockets. I did not write down anything for them. They beat the Mavs without Luka, which this season not the easiest thing in the world to do. But overall, yeah, there's the Clippers.
The Clippers. So Kawhi Leonard competes in full contact Clippers practice.
Whoa!
And he's inching towards spot. He was even listed as questionable for like game time decision or something for the Mavericks game, but people were like, "Nah, it's not real. They're just psyching out Jason Kidd." But I was thinking, it really is a sign of strength for the NBA, and it shows how deep the talent goes, that we had somebody like Kawhi Leonard kind of just disappear from the league. Like over the entire course of his career, he's obviously played. He's had like regular seasons where he's played, but still just we never get an extended run. It's crazy that we've had this guy drop out, and it's not like a shadow that hangs over the league versus like in 2012 and like 2013, it felt like the Derrick Rose shadow. And maybe it was, I'm a Bulls fan, so it was more Bulls-centric. But still.
My God.
Well, But no, everyone was like,
Yeah, no,
well, there's
I
literally
get it.
no one in the East.
I get
What
it.
like wait till this guy comes back. We'll see what happens when this guy gets back. He's like the youngest MVP ever.
That's
But
so funny.
there's there's
when Derrick
we
Rose was out, oh man, it was I mean, the whole country was desolate when Derrick Rose was out.
but there was a huge missing piece, and even before him,
Yeah.
like Penny Hardaway.
I was gonna say Kevin Durant post Achilles. It felt like not because like that was also the dissolving of that version of the Warriors, so it took them a second to get back to like real competitive levels. But when Kevin Durant was hurt, it was like, damn, it's like a top 3 player just gone.
Yeah, and like there's the other leagues. Well, no, not other leagues, but like it's crazy that this guy was an all-time great player, and this was like the next in the lineage of Jordan, Kobe, and he had already won the championships, and he went on the crazy Toronto run and everything, and like everything was set up for him to be one of the faces of the league and like one of the most important players of the generation, and then he just broke down. But like, and it's not something we talk about every single day. We're not
now
like,
he's
oh
completely
man,
gone. Yeah,
it's the league, the good players. The same with John Morant last year.
And it's crazy with Kawhi. Like for a lot of it, and we've talked about how he exists as a what if in our mind, but like for a lot of the guys who break down, you're like, damn, I would have loved to have seen him in a conference finals setting or something. I would have loved to see if he could handle the bright. And with Kawhi, we're like, no, he is like an automatic 35-5 on 70% true shooting while being like the best defender in the world. Like that, like if you told somebody, if you're like a time traveler and you came back and you were like, in the 2025 playoffs, Kawhi Leonard is going to be the best player, like people would be shocked that he was healthy, but nobody would be shocked that he was playing at that level, just because every time he's existed, he's been that level of guy. He's literally been like a Kevin Durant, LeBron level player. So yeah, it does suck.
And like I even feel like the Andrew Luck retirement like held over the NFL longer than
I don't even watch the NFL, but I remember when it was like, holy fuck, he's like 30 and he's retiring. That's insane. So yeah, I agree with that.
And there was like an entire lost generation of QBs I've seen people talk about, like in that age range, and like RG, like they felt those injuries. There's a lot of bad quarterbacking going on, but the NBA, there's a ton of superstar depth. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But then the other thing I have is Norm Powell is still at 24, 3-3 on 65% true shooting, 49% for 3 on 8 attempts. Is he going to be an all-star? He's still pushing for it.
It'd be cool. If he was in the East, oh my God, dude, like borderline lock. But the West, it's just tough because like Steph's gonna make it. They're gonna vote him in. And then you look at like Luka or Shea. Beyond that, I don't know. Harden would make it first, I guess. And so yeah, maybe he's like a coach pick or something, but. It's an uphill battle for Mr. Powell. Storm and Norman.
Windhorse revealed that NBA owners were furious at how the Clippers continued to trade for talent and suggest that the Norman Powell trade was the straw that broke the camel's back, and that played a part in the new CBA and the second apron being passed. Windhorse said, I was in LA at breakfast with an owner, and he was so pissed off. I cannot believe the Clippers got Norm Powell. We got to put a stop to this, he said. So Norm Powell is the reason we have the second apron.
It's crazy that he was a guy capable of this, just floating around, and he didn't wind up on a team that it matters that it's happening.
Well, wait, what do you mean?
I never knew he was this level of guy, but I always felt like Norm Powell was like really, really solid offensive player who is like for the prices that like he was like a throw-in for that Portland deal. It felt like the prices that he was like jumping around the league for, I was like, damn, if Boston had snagged him or something, it wouldn't surprise. Like, that seems like a move they are savvy enough to make. And then he started doing this. It's just crazy that like he was kind of floating around the league adrift, and then he caught on and he showed everybody that he's an incredible offensive player, and it's on a team that like that's waiting for Kawhi to come back to have any real expectations. Like it's just it doesn't matter. Like if he had done it in I don't know who else was on his radar, but if Boston had gotten him, maybe if like Cleveland had him or Milwaukee snagged him or something, there's just so many teams that could use like an incredible tertiary scorer that are without one while he's balling out for the Clippers.
Well, it's probably related to that because he probably wouldn't get the opportunity to do this on Boston or somewhere else saying, where
if like he could still be 18 points per game on like 68% true shooting for like Boston, or I mean maybe not for Boston, but for Milwaukee, I fully feel like he could be.
What was he traded for? Was it Gary Trent straight up?
Yeah, that's what he was from Portland to Toronto, I believe.
That was very interesting. They were like similar level players at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Derrick Jones Jr. is averaging a career high 10 points per game, shooting 43% on low volume. So it's fake 3-point shooting, but it's good 3-point shooting.
Nice.
Harden dropped 41 on Utah. And then the only two teams that have a majority of their total minutes played this season from players not drafted in the first round, the Clippers and...
Are you asking me to guess?
Yeah.
So majority of players not drafted in the first round, the Clippers and it's not the Nuggets. It's
nope.
Are they a good team?
No.
Oh, the Hornets.
Nope.
Pistons. No.
Nope.
The Nets?
Nope.
I don't know then. I'm 3 strikes.
The Pelicans.
Oh,
the Pelicans.
How could I forget? Okay.
Very different reality. They had first round picks. They all died.
Yeah.
So CJ McCollum, Zion, all of them are gone. So, but goes to show you.
Shows to go you. Get him, girls.
Shows to go you. That's good. Shows to go you.
Hey, just shows to go you. Guys, start saying that. Start saying just shows to go you.
They're making do with a group of vagabonds, of ragtags.
Nice. Yeah, I like them. They're all right. They fucking smoked the Nuggets twice, so I don't like them that much, but whatever. Do you want to do Lakers?
I suppose.
I
don't have much for the Lakers.
Do I have a choice? I mean, all right.
Could I say no? Could I say no?
They've beat the Kings, the Grizzlies, and the Blazers, and they've lost to the Mavericks in their last 4. I don't have that much on them either. LeBron's just back, and he took fucking steroids against the Grizzlies, and now he's cooking. And the win over the Kings. Every time someone beats the Kings, I'm like, the Kings are a good win. That's a solid team. and then I look, and then the fucking 12 seed, and I'm like, oh, damn, okay. But I still felt that way about this win, so it's whatever. I don't think the Lakers are like a real team, but good on you for beating the Kings, I guess.
Good on ya. Yeah, they're turning things back around. They're 3-1, so we'll see. The LeBron had an epic chase down block. You know why, right?
Why?
You know why he looks better physically, right?
Because he popped a pill.
He's on EPO. Yeah.
Oh, nice. You know that guy?
They're all on EPO.
Fuck. I don't even know how to describe him. He's a LeBron hater, very famous online. His name's like Carceno or something like that. And he's the guy who's like, he's just a lucky bum who threw up a shot. We've seen lucky bums make shots before. Have you seen that clip?
Is Twitter or TikTok?
I don't even know where he like streams or makes content. He's purely like a reaction guy for like Twitter people. They just use his videos for shit. But he had a video. So apparently he's like a full on Detroit Pistons guy, and so like LeBron 25 straight to close the 2005 game or whatever was just too much for him, and he's hated him ever since. But he made this video where LeBron, it's like full on breaking down LeBron getting handed a, I guess they called it a mint, but he's like that's a pill, that's a pill.
Oh.
And so,
you know who I love? Have you been seeing this guy on TikTok who all of his videos are about how being bow-legged or pigeon-toed or both makes you a better athlete?
no, I haven't.
He's making the same thing every time I see it. He's like, parents, if you want your sons to be an NBA player, you need to be bow-legged. You need to be pigeon-toed. Michael Jordan was both. LeBron James is pigeon-toed, and he just like goes down the list. He's got like this crazy agenda. I don't know what he wants more pigeon-toed and bow-legged people out there. But although it's probably true, I'm not saying I don't believe him. But because pigeon-toed for sure, but. LeBron passed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for most minutes played in the regular season, 57,000. So,
Hashtag the king. Hashtag chosen one.
Hashtag get a life.
Oh, okay.
Hashtag get off the game.
Okay.
Hashtag try hard. Hashtag sweat. Hashtag the man has a family.
Who the fuck?
Hashtag
no.
see your daughter.
Let's wrap
Hashtag
up.
Play with your sons.
Hashtag go home to those kids. Hashtag those kids miss their dad. Hashtag go eat dinner with your family. Hashtag movie night with the fam. Hashtag up early watching some Tom and Jerry before school.
Are those all real ones?
No, just the last one, I assume. Dude.
Hashtag pay for Spotify Pandora Premium. You put in the time.
140. Let me do 142. I don't give a shit about LeBron, the old GOAT, because there's a new GOAT, baby.
Well, wait. What? Wait. I have Darvin Ham quotes.
God damn it. I don't have that much on the Lakers. We're out here fucking spitting out LeBron Instagram captions. Come on.
So did you see Darvin Ham did an interview?
Yeah. And the things that he said, he was kind of cooking.
He said, what I did warranted an extension, not a firing. He said it's been 7 months and he's still surprised that he's not the Lakers coach. He was 90-74 in 2 seasons with the Lakers. They went to the Western Conference Finals in his first year, which feels like a lifetime ago.
Mm-hmm.
They went back to the playoffs the following year, and they won the in-season tournament championship. And then he was let go in May. To do as well as I did, I swear to God, anywhere else, I'm probably looking at an extension, Darvin Ham said. He was extremely disappointed and perplexed when he was fired. He said, I'm not talking about feelings. I'm talking about actual facts. They go from not making it to the playoffs to the Final Four in the NBA, the conference finals. Then you win the in-season tournament, navigate through all the injuries, and win both of your play-in games to get to the playoffs. It's being reported like I'm just throwing some lineups against the wall to see what sticks. No, man. We're navigating a lot of guys being hurt to having the oldest player in the league, to having Anthony Davis injury history. It was a lot. Some of the that was coming out, wow, bro, I don't know X's and O's. I was winging it. Dude, that was the most disappointing stuff. How mean. And so how much stuff people are saying online. But he says there's no ill will for him now against the Lakers. Their situation is what it is.
Salute.
So So yeah, the salute is taking years off this man's life. He sees it and he's like, ah.
He's like, what do you want me to say in that situation? These guys, nobody's trying at all. And I'm just like, I'm yelling at it. And LeBron, every time I say something, LeBron goes, guys, don't listen to him. He's fucking stupid.
He's gay.
He's gay.
What was that, LeBron?
What was that?
He's gay.
Nothing,
All right.
Darvin.
All right,
God.
D'Lo, come off the screen. Don't go. That's gay screen. Don't do that.
He wants you to touch another guy? Wow. It's surprising. Fuck. It's just crazy.
It's like the students. He can't fail us all.
Can't fail us all. Yeah, you just get a new teacher, I guess. It's crazy once you kind of establish and I'm not like a big like the culture of it all, but once you establish like the pattern of like, well, if this coach isn't working, let's just get a fucking new one. Once you do that like 5 times, you're just, like, it's crazy how much this like run of coaches would be shocking if it was like any other franchise.
Well, how many have they gone through?
So they went through Vogel into Who was there before Vogel? It was somebody, because Vogel was like a big name hire, I'm pretty sure.
I can't remember. Did they go from Luke Walton to
That's
Vogel?
who it is. Yeah, Luke Walton was there when LeBron signed. So they go. LeBron's been there since what, 2018-19?
That's crazy.
Yeah, so like 4 coaches in like 6-7 years. And they've won a title and made the conference finals, and nobody's stuck around. That's kind of crazy. The Spurs last 4. They beat the Hawks, the Pelicans, the Blazers, and they lost to the Wolves. I'm saying it's time to kick the propaganda machine into full throttle. What do you think?
It's the GOAT.
It's the GOAT. So he won, what, 42, 6, 5, and 3 with 2 steals last night?
4 blocks.
Okay, so yeah, 42.6 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 blocks, 2 steals. I think 7 of 15 from 3.
Yup.
In overtime as they beat the Hawks. Over his last 12 games, Wemby is averaging 30 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 blocks, 1 steal on 63% true shooting, 38% from 3 on 11 attempts a game. So I look around the league and it's like, okay, Giannis is better, Jokic is better, Luka is better. And then it's like, I will put other guys above him because of like sample size and playoffs and shit, and team success. But goddamn, dude, like pure eye test, he's better than so many guys already. It's insane.
They say history is written by the victors.
Are you gonna follow that up with anything?
Guy named Victor.
Kid named Finger.
Yeah, Wemby's my GOAT. DeAndre Hunter, blasphemy, dunked on him, stared him down as if,
should have been an and one, low key. Game should have ended there.
Me throwing a pebble in the ocean, saying, "Haha, I have broken you, ocean." That's how stupid I sound. Yeah, that's essentially what he did. Then Wemby wrecked them in OT. He hit a 3-pointer after pump faking 2 guys out of their shoes. He swatted Jalen Johnson. He dunked off a roll. He made another deep 3. Trae Young was so scared of him, he did a finger roll that went over the backboard. He puts a fear in these fools. He threw himself a lob.
He made Trae Young so scared all his hair fell out.
Ah!
I'm getting reports.
He threw a lob to himself off the backboard. I'll tell you, we're gonna see a whole vocabulary of shots that are possible for him that are not possible for other people. It's not risky for him to do that because he could just throw it higher than everyone else and then catch it and come down.
Mm-hmm. And his arms also reach farther.
Oh
so
my god! Yeah,
he can catch it. He can throw it higher, catch it farther away from the hoop than anyone else, and it'll still work fine.
When he gets a deep enough seal, He doesn't even have to turn around. Like, realistically, he could just go. There was a shot he tried to do backwards yesterday. He missed, but like he was trying to draw the foul. He just went back over, and I was like, this could absolutely be a real shot that he could just do.
The meta is changing.
He is game breaking. But yeah, he's nuts. And then Chris Paul had a good game too. 12,
He
7,
did.
8, and 4 steals on 4-4 shooting with 10 points in the last 3 minutes of fourth quarter and overtime.
Yeah, he was good. Shout out to the Spurs. Shout out to Wemby. Shout out to the first man to ever overcome being French. That's what they're saying.
Let's go. So before the season, I said I would bet on him being better than Anthony Davis this year. Do you think he is?
Lately,
Right.
like he had such.
Right now, the playoffs start. Number 1 pick, Anthony Davis or Wemby?
Oh, those are the two that are going number 1 overall.
Yep.
Fuck it, I'll go Wemby. I'd rather be early than late.
Yeah. So let's see. Let's go. Anthony Davis. Well, wait. So, are you taking him over Tatum yet?
No.
Are you taking him over Shea yet?
No.
Are you taking him over Steph yet? The ringer has Steph at number 6.
I personally would take him over Steph, but if this is just a slump and Steph still looks incredible, fucking 4 months from now, then it's whatever.
You're taking him over K Dizzle.
Probably for the health thing. But if KD was like Tatum durable or what, like just could rely on KD to be 100%, I would say KD I would take.
Edwards.
I'm taking Wemby.
Brunson.
Wemby. What the fuck?
The ringer is Wemby at 11.
Hey, I mean that's pretty based as far as mainstream media stuff goes.
Let's see. Where's Trae Young, do you think?
Oh, he's probably like 29th. It's probably like Trae Young, and then 5 spots ahead is like Tyler Hero.
He is not 29th. Let's see. I'm gonna keep scrolling till I get him. He is 36th.
Holy shit! That pisses me off.
He's behind Derek White. He's behind Chet. He's behind Halliburton.
I need 20
Harden.
minutes of Bill Simmons just being like, here's why Derek White's better.
He's behind Kawhi.
Bill Simmons like, okay, big game though. Big game. Who do you trust? Derek White or Trae Young? You know? I've seen Derek White step up and have 30 in a big game.
Kawhi. It says Kawhi's 29th, but he's trending down. What has changed?
They were like, I thought he was bouncing back from this. All right. What are we gonna do? What's after the Spurs? Are we done with the Spurs? Done with the Wemby prop?
Yeah.
Fuck it. Literally the GOAT. Everybody lock in.
He's the GOAT.
It's cool that LeBron gets to have this moment, but not for long, man.
He's already better defensively than LeBron and Jordan have ever been.
I mean, yeah. And better 3-point shooter.
Well, LeBron's better. No.
34% on the season. Hey, Michael Jordan shot 50% from 3 one time.
Yep, it was a fake line in a fake league.
Well, it was harder because like he grew up his whole life practicing on one 3-point line, and then you tell him the 3-point line's in a different spot now.
That's pattern recognition thrown off.
Absolutely. The Kings last 4 games, 2-2. They beat the Jazz, they beat the Pelicans, they lost to the Nuggets, and they lost to the Lakers. Ugly losses to the Lakers and the Nuggets. It's not feeling good if you're the Kings.
The vibes are bad. Their fan base is spiraling, which they always
both
are.
Of them, right? So Jack the Kings fan and Aaron Schroeder, no respect.
No respect.
They texted me. They texted me right after Anthony Simons hit the game winner, and they were like, "We're so upset about the Kings loss. We got to do like an angry pod or something." And I was like, "Guys, I do not have time for this right now. my world. I don't give a shit that your 12 seed lost to Anthony Davis. My world is falling apart around me. But yeah, it was a pretty nasty loss. And then I mean, so the Lakers loss is one. It's one thing to just lose a game normal style, but to fall like before that, the Nuggets loss up 10 with 4 minutes left to end the game on a 10-21 run. They're the third
losing a game bust down sexual style.
Yeah, Funky Burger loss as opposed to Scary Burger loss. They are like the fourth worst clutch team in the league right now, and their point differential is hilarious because if you rank teams by record and then you look at the point differential, it's like a gradient where like the Cavs or whoever, it's green, green, green all the way down into red where the teams are losing worse. But the Kings are like +2, +3 in point differential on the season. They've just blown so many insane leads that they're a horrible record, but they still look pretty good by that one stat. Yeah, it doesn't look. What is even turning this around look like? If it's me, I'm selling De'Aaron Fox. I'm blowing it up. I don't care. But I'm not emotionally invested in the team, so maybe that's reactionary. Maybe they have to hit the 14 seed before we make any hasty decisions like that.
It's always been the problem is it's a team built around Sabonis, and it is just limits the ceiling.
Sorry, I'll let you talk here in a sec. My brother is a big Kings fan, and we were talking about like just how the Kings are doing and stuff. And I was like, and Sabonis has actually been playing and he just cuts me off. Pablo fucking hates Sabonis. What's the problem, dude?
It's just inherent. It's just from birth. He's predestined not to exist on a winning team. No, but your defensive issues, they're just not going to be sorted out with him at center. And so I just wonder, like, I would be interested in this team with a different defensive anchor.
Wembanyama on this team.
Could they get that guy?
Sabonis? Sabonis was all NBA.
What the fucking heck? Yeah, they that would be epic if they could add Wemby. That would be a contender, maybe. I don't know.
It'd be pretty close.
Keegan Murray would have to make some. Keegan Murray would have to make some threes.
He's so bad, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I there's a lot of complaints about DeRozan from their fan base, and I understand it. Because the DeRozan experience is just a specific one, even when it's going well. But like, there's not too many metrics that say like their offense is flailing. And DeRozan isn't playing bad offense, even though he's not getting to the rim. What did I read? Yeah, he's only 12% of his shots are coming at the rim. That's like the lowest of his career, and I don't know if that's age. I think it's like context. The context is exacerbating that. But
there's this big dumb fuck who can only dunk.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of space to move around, and then everyone's doing their own mid-range cooking, so it's like, well, I'm not going to go to the rim. I got to get my cook off, and he's actually shooting the most mid-range shots of his career.
That's so sick.
Yeah, they people want him to move to sixth man. I don't know if it's gonna happen, but yeah, I don't know. It's just hope the Heat are blowing up and get Bam. What would Sabonis get you?
I don't know. I feel like the league as a whole, there are spots where you could there are teams that you could finesse for him.
The Bulls.
Like, what if the Pacers don't really have anything to give, but like teams that are like
they're over
desperate.
that, I think.
It would be funny though.
Portland, Ayton for Sabonis.
Oh my God, this is so tragic. I don't want to talk about that.
The thing is, they're not even like a bad team. It's just relative to everyone else in the West. If they were in the
East, how can you even be hopeful? Yeah,
if they were in the East, it'd be cool. Where would they be? In the East,
they'd probably still be. I mean, they're the 12 seed right now. I think they'd probably. I'm gonna guess like the 8 seed in the East.
So they've won 13 games. Yeah, they'd be like the 8th seed, but they could compete with these guys.
Most of them, but yeah, the West. I mean, good lord, even if they snuck into the fucking playoffs, if you have to play OKC, good luck, Charlie.
Also, like, well, what if they did? How many guys could they trade off and just start losing? Like, if you subtract Sabonis, but add no one of substance in his place, are they bad enough to get a top pick?
Are you trying to get off Sabonis and then tank and replace him?
Get Cooper Flag or someone.
Come on, come on, Sacramento.
let's pull up Tankathon. Let's see if we can pull up anything.
Okay, let's do it. Yeah, man, fuck it. I'm gonna
because I like De'Aaron Fox.
This man is a sick fuck. Aaron, he did send me a trade, or he posted it where it was like Jabari Smith, Reed Shepard, 2 first-round picks, and something else for De'Aaron Fox. I would be chill with that.
I don't know. That's a lot. Because
if I'm Sacramento, I would be chill with it.
Yeah, that's a king's bounty. But that's a number 3 overall pick or whatever. Jabari was number 2.
Yeah, fake draft though. Fake draft.
It was faker draft, but that's like 4 first-round picks for Fox. And does he fix? So he's definitely
the Rockets.
He's definitely better than Van Vliet. and
he's
and
instantly
Green.
Their best perimeter player by a country mile. I also think he runs a pick and roll better than anybody, so you probably help Şengün in that regard.
Oh, he could function with Şengün, yeah, because
I feel
the bonus years.
In terms of like how you could become a contender with one move, if you're the Rockets this year, especially because I feel like a lot of their stuff, internal development, is going to push them towards that. They're just not ready right now. I feel like it would do a lot. I feel like it raises their I'm more scared of them in a postseason setting with a creator like that on the perimeter than just like, oh no, Dylan Brooks, don't shoot that. No, Fred VanVleet, no, you're only 30 feet away. You're wide open. Don't shoot that, please. If I'm the defense, I'm taking any of that stuff. So yeah, it'd be cool with Fox.
It only took 4 Sims for me to get to the number 2 pick for Sacramento.
You guys are sick. Everyone who uses the fucking Tankathon, they're like, only took 6 Sims for this. And it's like, dude. I mean, everybody talks about fake stuff all the time. That's like the nature of our profession, it feels like. But our profession, I'm such a fucking loser.
Yeah.
God damn it. Fucking. Oh, man. I'm going to RFK, tell me what the most lethal Kellogg's cereal is to eat. I'm going to go eat a whole fuking box of that. Yeah, but like people who are like simming the tank.
They're playing Operation. They're messing with that man's life. When you hit the metal, you get shocked. It's not good for anybody.
He couldn't afford anesthesia. He's awake for all of that.
That company went back on that, I think. The insurance thing.
Oh yeah, it's because the guy got fucking locked down. It's fucking Luigi.
Like,
took his ass.
Oh geez, okay, my bad.
Okay, fine. Calm down, everyone. What are we at?
Fox to Miami for Jimmy. No. No.
I'm done with the Kings. The Blazers.
Oh.
Last 4, they're 1-3. They beat the Nuggets. They lost to the Suns, the Spurs, and the Lakers. I don't fucking like these guys.
Oh.
I think Anthony Simons. I mean, everybody in the league is shooting fucking 12 threes a game at a 40% clip. Can't figure that out until you play the Nuggets. That's cool.
Boom roasted.
You know? Shaden Sharp. God, there's nothing to say. He's so handsome.
God, he's so
he's
cool.
a fucking crazy athlete. And he cooked last night. And what's the fucking point? God damn it. Fucking Tumani Kamar's fucking good, dude. Fucking. Hey, Scoot Henderson sucks, though. We already did this.
Oh, trade him for Jamal?
Oh my God. It's like one of the few surefire worse players than Jamal Murray right now. It's a short list.
Yeah, so they pwned the Nuggets into oblivion. Epicness. Awesome. Former #1 pick Greg Oden will visit Portland for the first time in over a decade on December 27th and will sit courtside with his family on December 28th. He's expected to share his story with players and staffers on how he overcame some difficult obstacles. Him talking to Scoot Henderson. Yeah, we're different. You just suck. I was injured. No, that's so mean.
It's so crazy.
It's not canon, Portland fans. It's not canon until year 3.
Hey, it's just crazy how, like, back in the day, like, back then, you were like a lazy loser piece of shit if your body failed you. Like, I remember growing up being like, hearing Greg Oden's the fucking biggest bust of all time. Are you kidding me? Oh my God. And it's like, no, he could just never play. Like, yeah, like if Zion did what he was doing back then, he would be like barred from the league.
I'll tell you, people need to chill on the Zion things. I'm seeing tweets saying the NBA ratings are down because he was supposed to be the face, but now he's a fat loser porn addict. I'm like, come on, take it easy.
Kind of, hey, it's none of my business, you know?
Scoot is getting worse month by month. Not canon.
That's not good.
It's not canon.
The more he gets used to NBA defenses, the worse he gets.
It's not canon. So,
what is canon with this team? Donovan Clingan, he was playing last night.
Defense. Oh, is Clingan back?
I swear. Let me pull this up.
Was he shutting down Jokic?
Well, it's because Ayton was playing the most, and so let me click on this. Portland, Clingan. He played 11 minutes. In 11 minutes, he hit a corner 3 on us. That pissed me off so bad. Oh, whatever. Yeah. Shout out to Clingan. Shout out to Monty. Shout out to all the Cannon guys. It's weird. For a team that's this bad, how old is Sharp and Simon? Sharp isn't even 22 yet, but Simons is like 24, I'm pretty sure.
That sounds right. Because what draft is he? He's like 2020 or 2019, I think.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to be a Debbie Downer and be like, oh, well, that's kind of old to be not even close to the end of your rebuild. But yeah, just another year, another good draft pick. It won't hurt him.
Well, let's see how many Sims is it going to take till. I'm up to #2 pick and only 3 Sims. Whoa.
Huh? Well, they don't even need the #1. I mean, it'd be cool.
Well, now they have #1 in about 8 Sims, so.
Jericho Sims.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a real life thing. That's not like your loser nerd online shit.
What?
Sims. What? You're simulating life. Simulate going outside, dude.
What is? Oh yeah. Let me go outside, guys. By the way, I forgot to mention it's the second shortest day of the year. As of filming, tomorrow's going to be the shortest day of the year in terms of sunlight.
The Pablo Escobar of days of the year. The Pablo Escobar of days of the year, everybody. Boom! Roasted. Oh
I'm
my God.
literally 5'8" 3/4", so 5'9" in shoes. So
my day came 2 weeks ago. Thank you very much.
I'm pretty good.
The Jazz. Hey,
if I were to go to Guatemala, I'd be a king.
That'd be crazy. The Jazz. 1-3.
Jorge Pablo Escobar. So did you see what Bryce did last night?
No, they beat the Pistons. They lost to the Clippers, Suns, and the Kings. Sorry, go.
2 for 3.
Holy shit.
Yep.
So anyone else have a better field goal percentage on the team? Probably not.
Probably not. And then Keontae dunked on Jalen Duren.
Oh, cool. Well, that's actually bad for you. That's like the Bulls beating the Celtics. Is like Keontae dunks on Jalen Duren and Will Hardy's like 8 more shots a game for you. Man, do whatever you want.
I think Bryce only got like 12 minutes or something. So how many shots has he even missed in the past? Actually, he had a rough game the one before.
Don't look at that.
right before. It's been actually insane. But we're still at 41% from 3 on the year, and we are still at
What's the per 36 attempts?
61 per 36 attempts. Field goal or 3-point?
3-pointers.
8.7. Yeah.
Holy fuck. Oh my god. This is literally prime stuff.
This is insane stuff. So yeah, there was a 3 for 4 game, 5 for 6 game. Every other game he's popping off with efficiency that no one's ever seen.
Well, I'm sorry that's happening, dude. Do you have any? I don't have anything written down for these last teams.
And then is it just the Pelicans left?
Yeah.
So the Pelicans posted an all-star graphic, a vote all-star graphic. Did you see this?
Yeah, it was where all their hands were like up.
They didn't put a single guy in there. They just put the huddle, the fists in a huddle. They're like, vote for all-stars. It's not one of us, but just
vote for whoever. Who cares?
Guy who thinks voting is always like it's your civic duty to vote for everything. Like, did you vote for the Kids' Choice Awards? Come on, get out there. It's your civic duty.
Come on, dude. It's it affects your community, right?
God, the Kids' Choice Awards have been run down the drain ever since they let Russell Wilson host. Disgusting. We need an edgy host for the Kids' Choice Awards.
That's what I was about to say. Russell Wilson's way too clean cut. They need Future. Oh my God, get Future to host the Kids' Choice Awards. Yeah.
We need. Kai Cenat would be funny, but he would.
He would be.
That'd be crazy.
He'd probably say something like, just homophobic out of nowhere. I feel like.
In a charming way.
Yeah. He'd be like, yo, my bacon, egg, and cheese. What, are you gay? And then it'd be like, New York is so crazy, man.
New York. The Pelicans have gone 1 for 8 since DeJounte Murray returned to the lineup, including 6 double-digit losses.
You keep saying blank for blank, like they're taking shots. So
they've gone 1 for 8. 1 and 8.
There you go.
In those 9 games, Murray is averaging 17 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, while shooting 37% from the floor, 29.6 for 3, rounded to 30. They've been outscored by 118 points with Murray on the floor, which is the worst plus-minus for anyone on the team during that stretch. They have an offensive rating of 103.7 with him in the lineup. That's the equivalent of the worst offense in the league. Murray has never had more than 7 turnovers in any of the first 480 games of his career, but he recorded 8 in each of his team's last 2 losses. He had 7 in a loss to Memphis recently. He's never finished the season averaging more than 2.6 turnovers per game, but he's at 4.2 right now. This is all from the Pelicans subreddit. So, DeJounte's not a savior. That trade is feeling real bad.
Well, they got Zion coming back, so
he'll be back eventually. So maybe things will click. But Dyson Daniels said the Pelicans are cursed. Even DeJounte Murray is cursed. He can't escape it. No matter what happens. So
and that guy's Australian, so he's not messing around with curses.
Is it worth it to trade Zion?
Right now, I mean.
They said they would be open to trading anybody except Trey, Messi, and Herb.
It depends. I feel like when that news dropped, people were like, oh, contenders are going to buy low on Zion for like 1 first rounder. And it's like, that's not what they mean. Like, if you want to come around and it wouldn't take like a classic, it wouldn't take like the Anthony Davis package to get him right now or anything. But it would still take like a legitimate all-star level return. Like, what they gave up to get DeJounte Murray, I would expect at least that back if someone's trying to get Zion. So, yeah.
And then the problem, like, who is out there that can give up those assets and that's willing to for a guy who's missed so many games?
It would be funny if the Thunder were just like, we can afford it.
That would be so awesome.
There's we got it. Don't worry.
Let's pull up Fanspo.
My God.
How can we make this happen?
All right, let's pull up Fanspo, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's
Oh,
pull
my
up
goodness.
Fanspo, ladies and gentlemen.
That's the tagline of this fucking podcast.
Because I'm also thinking, what happens if Zion is just rebranded as like the Carl Towns of New Orleans, and they get Cooper Flagg or Dylan Harper, and they become the face of the team? Then Zion's looking like a pretty cool sidekick, no?
I mean, I guess, but it's just hard. His Karl Anthony Towns' game is so much more sidekick pilled.
Yeah, Zion's got too much main character energy.
Yeah.
So they would have to they would have to give up Lou Dort. They would have to give up Isaiah Joe, and they would have to give up probably one more dude. Kenrick Williams, perhaps?
Yeah,
and then picks.
Not worth it. 3 first-rounders. 2.
Yeah. Lou Dort, Isaiah Joe, and Kenrich Williams for Zion. Who says no?
Okay. I don't know. Fanspo, I guess.
If they could get a king's ransom. But, oh my God, the Chet Zion, Applejack's commercial, cinnamon and apple body type
That'd
duo.
be crazy.
Booyah.
Booyah. You got any final thoughts?
Nope.
Nope. Fuck you guys. We got a big surprise coming next Wednesday. I'm excited.
Do we?
Yeah, I texted you about. You're an idiot.
Today?
Lay down a list of what is wrong. Things